Welcome to TMZ Live. So Ben Affleck has given Jennifer Lopez, his ex-wife, a fabulous parting gift. A house, at least his share of their $60 million marital mansion that has become a white elephant.
This is more than just a parting gift when you break down the numbers on it. Remember, this is the mansion that they bought for, $60.8 million?
Cash. All cash.
That was cash.
Now, they did take out, I will say, after they bought it, they did take out a $20 million loan. Let's kind of like put that aside. The bottom line is they've been trying to sell this house now for a long time, and they can't do it. They first asked $68 million, which frankly would have just broken them even, because between the realtor's fees and what they put into it, that would have broken, no takers. They lowered it all the way down to $52 million, which would have been a big loss, and they still couldn't sell it. So they've taken it off the market. She's living in it while she redoes the house she bought.
Right.
And he's moved on. But they can't sell this.
This was the one remaining point of contention in their divorce. Once they finalized their divorce, they just said, we'll put the house to the side, and once that sells, if it sells, we'll deal with that. But he's just wiped his hands of it now and said, it's all yours.
So if you look at just the $60 million, he's got at least $30 million. He's got more than $30 million in it. Now, there was a mortgage, so let's say it's 20. He's giving her tens of millions of dollars to walk away from this house.
Very generous.
Something we didn't talk about when we put this up on the website. I think the date here is very interesting.
April 9th, 10th?
Yes, because what's coming up in 5 days?
Taxes.
Yeah. That there may be a write-off here. Yes.
It's a good point. I also think, though, that don't you think there's part of it that he just didn't want to have anything to do with this house anymore? I mean, we know for a fact he was willing to way lower the price so they could just sell it, and she was the one who was dragging her feet and didn't want to lower the price. Obviously, I would imagine she's going to move out of this house eventually. So at this point, he's probably just like, I have enough money. Like, I just don't want anything to do with you or this house, and
well,
I'm out.
They're not on bad terms. I mean,
they're not on bad terms. So.
But when you mentioned money, Ben recently sold his AI company to Netflix for $600 million. So it ain't like he's hurting.
Pretty flush.
And pretty flush.
But could probably use a write-off.
You see, this tax thing.
So you mean it's not just for love?
No, I mean, I don't think.
Because they are on really good terms, and we know that they both said that, no, they're not going to be married, but they still have love for each other.
I understand that, but I don't think it's coincidental. As for her, so now it's her house. And now the question is, what does she do with it? She has another house that she's renovating. Eventually, she's going to want to move into that house, put this thing on the market. Even if she sells it, I mean, if she just makes it a fire sale and sells it for, I don't know, $45 million.
Well, now she could actually be making money.
She can still make money.
She'd make money.
But I know he's obviously has all the money in the world, but that's still a lot of money he's giving up.
He's giving up a lot of money, but at the same time,
again,
there is history there.
Right. There's history. And the biggest thing, like you said, he just got $600 million for a company that, by the way, was like, it's an AI company for filmmaking, and Netflix bought it. But it wasn't like he had a huge overhead on that company. He made a lot of money.
He made a
Most
ton
of
of
that money he just made.
You can't forget that before that, Ben Affleck was an incredibly rich man. So he has.
I mean, yeah, he could afford to buy a $60 million home and
then another home.
And then move out of it and
then
still keep
home.
paying a mortgage on it.
So, look, they have been trying to get rid of this thing. And, what we were told by real estate people we know in that area is that this was always a tough house, that the people who owned it before had a tough time selling it. And a lot of people were surprised they bought it. It's not like it's not a beautiful house, but it's kind of weird. For various reasons in terms of location and other things.
And remember how long they took to even find this house?
Oh my God.
They spent like a year or two.
2 years.
Every other week we would get photos of them and their realtors going to different properties, and this was the one they chose.
They changed realtors. They went into escrow on several other properties and dropped out. So this was finally their dream house. Do not use the cliche, but it's true. But it's true.
Hi, it's Carrington from Houston, Texas. And I kind of think it's awesome and kind of sweet that they're so nice to each other in this moment in their lives. I believe that Ben and Jen will get back together at some
No.
point,
Oh
and
God.
this house will be sold and everything will be fine.
No,
If,
no, no,
if,
no,
if
no,
they
no.
get back together, they should not have a wedding because nobody's going to buy presents. It's like, I mean, at a point, it's like fool me twice. Seriously.
I don't think anybody's buying gifts for them.
I mean, if they're getting married and they have a big thing like they did last time, people are going to buy gifts. Did they get their gifts back?
I don't think people buy gifts at that level. Never mind. Guess who's back? Kamala Harris is certainly sounding like someone who is going to run for president again. She was in New York today at an event for the Reverend Al Sharpton, and she was talking about what she's been doing, going around the country, sounding like someone who is sort of already on the campaign trail. Take a listen to what she had to say.
Are you going to run again in 28?
So, okay,
I tried to be subtle, but I just figured I'd go right
Well,
at it.
that's as subtle as Reverend Al Sharpton could ever be. We love you for many things, but not being subtle. Listen, I might.
Donald Trump did the same thing. Lost, then ran again, even though she didn't win the first time. But here's the thing. You start looking at the polling, and nationally, she is winning right now in some of the national polls. But maybe more, there are a whole bunch of things more important. Number one, you start looking at the individual states. For example, New Hampshire. There are a lot of polls that have Pete Buttigieg in front. And what happens is you start looking at primaries, and people gain steam from winning primaries. So whatever it is 2 years out can radically change. And then you look at history, and you look at, I'll give you three people. I'll give you Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama. 2 years out, they were blips on the radar.
Right.
But they suddenly surfaced during primary season and debate season. So this is...
Those weren't people, but those, certainly in two of them, I'm not sure about the third, they didn't have a previous run that went disastrous.
Does that help her or hurt her?
I think it hurts.
There's no chance it's going to be Kamala
people,
again.
that's
Yeah.
what the image people have
Right.
of you is a really bad loss.
Yeah,
in
they're not
a-
going to
in a
run her again.
presidential
It's
election.
Donald Trump
It's
lost.
Gavin Newsom. Yeah.
Richard Nixon lost, and then he won again.
But
Yeah.
Donald Trump is an outlier in so many
I
ways.
think so too,
right?
Ross.
And
She's going to have a really hard time. I mean, because what's happened is people are saying, we got to redefine the Democratic Party. I mean, you know what's really interesting is I looked at the polling before we did this today.
Is it Newsom?
Well, Newsom is right there. I mean,
Okay.
it depends on the poll you're looking
Right.
at. But Newsom has a lot of traction, and then Buttigieg has a lot of traction. But AOC is 10, 12%.
she's right there, yeah.
So she's actually getting polling too. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do. Because it sure looks like on the Republican side, it's going to be either Rubio or Vance.
Absolutely.
But then what do? Do they pick a moderate? You know, somebody who tries, is putting himself out as a moderate like Newsom? Do they pick an AOC? Do they pick a Buttigieg where you're not sure exactly where he's landing? I just don't see them picking Kamala Harris.
I think the Kamala Harris and Newsom both going for it, if that ends up happening, is really interesting just because of their history.
Well, they're both California.
Right, and they're both California,
People
which
has a
is
thing against California.
Yes, exactly. So I don't know that that's good for anybody else in the field if they both end up going.
It's good for Buttigieg.
Yeah, it's really good for Buttigieg.
I'm from the Midwest, man.
One thing that Kamala Harris is not going to win is a contest of Donald Trump impressions, or really maybe any impressions. But this was one moment here where she was talking about the president's policy, foreign policy, and she decided to try her hand at an impression.
When he talks about America first, it's to withdraw from these relationships and these connections. And then he kind of acts like a mob boss. So then he's kind of like, well, you take Eastern Europe, and I'll take the Western Hemisphere. And then you over there, you get Asia. And we'll just divide it up. Right?
What accent is that?
I don't know what. I don't. To be fair, I think she was trying to do, but it's not even a good mob boss impression.
No, it was not a good mob boss impression.
It wasn't a good
There was
Trump
some
impression.
accent there that I'm not sure what it was.
But I want to hear more of it. Whatever it is, I love it.
Yeah.
There were such good Trump impersonators out there. That was so bad.
That was bad.
Hi, I'm Marie Soledad, connecting to you from Seattle. And yeah, Kamala Harris's impression wasn't great. She needs to watch The Godfather again for sure. But we wouldn't be voting for her to be the best stand-up comedian. We're voting for her to be president. And she was right about everything that happened.
I'm not even sure if it matters about right or wrong.
Yeah.
I think what matters is persona. And we will see.
Coming up.
Well, Melania Trump has stirred up a big mystery in Washington, D.C. Her spokesman was on Fox this morning.
Why now? People are questioning the timing of this.
Well, first, enough is enough. Be right back.
Well, Melania Trump has stirred up a big mystery in Washington, D.C. What seemed on the surface to be her just saying she wants more transparency when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein.
And she wants to, as she puts it, set the record straight that she had no connection to Jeffrey Epstein.
That seemed to be like what the intent of her little 5-minute address to the media was yesterday. But now everyone's wondering what's really behind it, because nobody thinks that it was simply that. It kind of came out of nowhere.
It did. And you wonder, was something about to come out that she was trying to blunt, which often happens, because this was so out of context. And particularly her comment that she thinks the survivors should testify on Capitol Hill, which seems utterly in conflict with what her husband has been saying.
And in fact, even the president told reporters that he was surprised by it, that he didn't, seemed to me make it sound like he didn't know it was going to happen. I can't believe that.
I mean, it seems like when you have an address like that at the White House with a microphone and a podium, somebody's going to know.
The president.
So that doesn't make any sense at all.
Her spokesman was on Fox this morning and was asked the question, why now? This was sort of an answer.
Why now? People are questioning the timing of this.
Well, first, enough is enough. This has been ongoing, and it's time for the public to refocus their attention on what achievements our First Lady has done. She's helping people over and over again. Americans are benefiting from her efforts. People in the foster care community, people from an educational perspective. Her achievements have been so wide. You've covered them here, whether it's international with the Ukrainian and Russian reunifications and beyond. And we want to focus the attention on her good work and what she's accomplished as First Lady of the United States.
But what was driving this? Because nobody was talking about otherwise.
And if they were, they weren't talking about her as being complicit in anything
the reality
related
is,
to Epstein.
The reality is Epstein has been on the back page because of the war.
Well,
so people are not talking about it the way they did.
It's been backburnered, and it never really focused on her. I know she's part of the ambit, but nobody was, even on the far left,
so what's this about?
It's a rhetorical question that there's no answer for, right? I mean,
I think we'll have an answer within a few days.
Well, if something was going to come out and they're trying to get ahead of it, that at least makes sense. I'm not sure it's good politics, but it makes sense. I like Derek's theory that the focus has been on Iran, about the he's taken a big hit on that, and this kind of does just distract from that, and he puts her forward.
But you don't pivot to the thing that you tried to distract from in the first place. You can pivot to other things. I mean, Trump pivoted to immigration.
Right.
So that's his go-to. But for her to pivot back to the thing that he wants people to forget about makes no sense to me.
But her line, contrary to what the president has said about not bringing these people up to testify on Capitol Hill, that's wild.
It is a big mystery. And by the way, the survivors, the Epstein survivors themselves, are kind of split on whether or not this was a genuine outreach by the First Lady. They're split on whether or not they should, as some of them have put it, we've already told our story.
Well, some of them
we need to.
Some of them are saying you're talking to about the wrong people testifying. They want to hear from Pam Bondi.
Right.
They want to hear from Pam Bondi, and that's where a lot of the split
They want
is.
accountability, they want responsibility, and they kind of feel like putting it on them to come and testify is dodging all of that.
My name is Nora Christine. I'm from Orlando, Florida, and I think First Lady Melania is very brave for speaking out, taking a stance, and denouncing all of the lies being said about her. She's made it very clear that she only knew Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell in passing, and she's also called for accountability by allowing the women to have their day in court. They need to name names, name them. So I support her, and I'm glad she took that stance yesterday.
Well, we might as well wrap up the week with some big UFO news. We started early in the week. Remember, we had Congressman Tim Burchett on talking about the things that he's been briefed on that would blow our minds and terrify Americans. Well, now Kacey Musgraves, the singer, has seen something herself with her own eyes, and she actually attempted to capture it on camera. She did. I don't know how successful she was. We'll see in a moment. But this happened, she said, as she was on a flight from Dallas to Nashville.
We just had the craziest orb UFO experience. We watched them for maybe like 45 minutes. I have videos. I'm going to post them. Yeah, it looks like I filmed on my poster, but that's the quality. That's what we're working with. These orbs were not moving like any craft that we can control. They were intermittently coming and going, forming triangle patterns. They were kind of an orangish color. Sometimes they would get extremely bright and change color, change size. The pilots, come back, open the door, whatever, and we're like, did y'all just see something weird? And they're like, 3 orbs off in the sky. And we were like, yeah. And both pilots were laughing kind of, and they were like, yeah, we've seen these every single night. And all the other pilots are seeing them too, and nobody knows what they are.
So here are the images that she shot on her cell phone outside the plane. So this
the best she could do on her phone.
So she was saying this must be about 50,000 feet in the air. The plane is probably somewhere between 30 and 38,000 feet. So she says she's shooting up, and these are the orbs that she saw. I still can't get a read on what she was saying with the pilots, so that we don't know what but they laugh.
To me, if the pilots said that they're seeing it every night,
right,
that makes it less likely.
Diminishes it.
Right. That just means it's something that they haven't figured out.
But they even said that they've been seeing them back in New York area as well. Like it's been like all throughout the United States. But their laugh makes me think like, it's nothing versus like it's actually
they're
a
certainly
UFO.
not worried about it.
Well,
regardless.
I think the fact that they say they saw it and other pilots saw it and it's in the same place every night, I get what she's saying.
I mean, look, it is by definition UFO, right?
Well, it may not be. We think it's a UFO, but
to us it is.
Somebody may know something else.
I'm sure someone does.
Hey, JC Frias from South Texas, and I'm just going to say, Kacey Musgraves seeing these orbs is nothing new. People across the country keep saying that they're seeing different orbs, and I think at this point, we should probably just contact Apple, iPhone, and be like, hey, we need a better camera angle, better zoom in for night vision, because I guess they're the only ones that are going to let us be able to see a clear view.
What if Apple then put UFO mode? UFO mode on your phone.
I'm telling you, as soon as you said that, I thought the same thing. That would sell.
Someone is going to do it. It would sell like
crazy.
It's going to be a race, Apple or Android. Who's going to do it?
Coming up.
Well, if you were heading to Coachella, good for you, because that means you already had your tickets. But if you're trying to get them last minute, good luck, because the prices have gone through the roof.
The explosion in the secondary market seemed to revolve around this sound check, where everybody's saying he's doing his old stuff, and it's kind of like the Eras Tour with Taylor Swift.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Phoebe Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at. Well, if you were heading to Coachella, good for you, because that means you already had your tickets. But if you're trying to get them last minute, good luck, because the prices have gone through the roof. By the way, not just for tickets, also for Airbnbs. I would imagine hotels, well, they're probably already sky high. Just happens this time of year for the 2 weeks of Coachella. And there's one particular reason it and it seems to be surrounding one Justin Bieber, who is headlining on Saturday night. And there was some video that came out this week.
There were sound checks that he was doing for Coachella. And in the sound checks, he was playing his old songs. He was playing One Less Lonely Girl. He was doing Boyfriend. And everybody thought, because he had done a performance earlier, that this was going to be about his new stuff, Swag. When they realized it's the old stuff, it exploded.
Nothing like the old stuff to really draw them in. And now the prices are going through the roof. A lot of people feel because of that. So joining us now, independent music journalist and digital creator, Tomas Mir from the Greater Palm Springs area. Tomas, welcome to TMZ Live.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, looking at your background, you look like you're still in the middle of the Bad Bunny Super Bowl show.
I am. I'm actually one of the Bushes.
But so what about this? I mean, the explosion in the secondary market seemed to revolve around this sound check where everybody's saying he's doing his old stuff. And it's kind of like the Eras Tour with Taylor Swift, that you want to hear that.
Well, yeah, as a fan, and if you see Justin Bieber doing this really incredibly big comeback, I think the expectation does come of some sort of Eras Tour experience where you're getting to see him kind of through the years, maybe getting to touch on UConn and the new albums as well, but really tapping into the entire discography since we haven't really gotten that from Justin in a really long time. So there's a lot of excitement about that and anticipation. And I'm keeping my hopes low. I think it's going to really teeter towards Swag, but I'm hoping that I'm wrong.
I think part of the anticipation also is just that Justin, we know, has an aversion to touring. And for health reasons, he had to drop out of his last tour. So for a long time, there was a feeling they might not get to see him perform live again. Is there also a feeling like we should go now because we might not have this opportunity again?
Well, the thing is, I did some reporting for Rolling Stone last year talking about how he really directed the negotiations for Coachella without a middleman. And the big thing that came from that reporting was that he was really in the driver's seat. He's the one making the decisions, choosing what he wants to do. And I think that's what's really exciting about this time around is it's going to be Justin Bieber deciding what he wants to do, what he wants to give to his fans. And I feel like at the end of the day, he's going to do what fans want to see, you know?
Well, that's interesting you say that because it seems like fans want to see the old stuff, yet you said you think it's going to be Swag. So,
I think it's going to be Swag-centered, but there's going to, of course, have to be some old songs sprinkled in. With those two performances he did at the Troubadour and at the Roxy in Los Angeles, it was completely Swag. So maybe that was him getting that out of his system, and hopefully we'll get some of those old songs too.
Well, and you know, I'm just a cynical old guy, but when sound checks like that leak, there's something intentional behind it.
Maybe so.
Yeah. He's well aware that people in the surrounding area in the desert can hear it in the middle of the night when he's doing the sound check. So aside from Justin Bieber, what other special guests might be coming out either with Bieber or with either the other headliners, Karol G and Sabrina Carpenter?
You know, I have some reporting confirming that there will be several special guests during Karol G's set. That'll be very exciting. Really tapping into reggaeton and the Latinidad that will be celebrated during that set. And then we just went up with a story with the Hollywood Reporter about Teddy Swims' set, which he will be bringing out 3 guests, including one member of a sexy sibling group, which I think you can decipher what group that might be.
Oh, I know that.
5?
No, I know that. Male singing group, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I know exactly.
So,
let me ask
you said the thing you said about Karol G and reggaeton, and I know you made a joke about Tomas's background. Is there any thoughts that Bad Bunny might be one of the people coming out with her?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. I think Bad Bunny has already did the headlining Coachella, so I think that's something that could happen. But I don't know. I think my brain goes a little bit old school reggaeton and also women empowerment. Those are the kind of things that come to mind with when I think about Karol G headlining. So maybe it'll teeter that direction.
Okay, that's right up my alley, this women empowerment, because have you heard a buzz that Madonna may show up?
Madonna? With who?
Sabrina Carpenter.
I don't know.
Think about it.
I'm not sure about this
Think
one.
about that.
Why so? With what song?
Oh, I see the two of them so aligned in so many ways.
Okay.
That she's sort of there have been people who felt like that she's sort of the new version of that. So would Madonna want to?
Wow.
I'm sure Sabrina would love to have Madonna do it.
I'm
but
just
would
curious.
Madonna do it?
I'm just curious if you've heard a buzz.
No, I haven't heard any reporting on that, but that would be amazing. I would 100%. I could see that 100% happening, and I would love to see it. I feel like Sabrina will have to bring out some guests too, right? Like, what's Dolly Parton doing this weekend?
So, will you give us credit if Madonna ends up showing up at Coachella?
I mean, I could see it happening.
Hey, we so appreciate you coming here. Yeah, have a great time and let us know about it. If this Madonna thing happens, we want to talk to you again.
I see, fingers crossed. I would absolutely love that to happen. Hopefully it's a weekend one if it does happen, because I'll be there.
You never know which weekend it could be. If it doesn't happen this week, it could be the second one.
Hey, Tomas, we really
Thanks,
appreciate
Tomas.
you coming on.
Thanks, you guys.
Coming up.
There is a neighborhood here in LA that is on pins and needles right now because of Diddy's appeal.
This neighborhood is apoplectic. Maybe the ritziest area in LA.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. There is a neighborhood here in LA that is on pins and needles right now because of Diddy's appeal that went before the appeals court yesterday. And I have a feeling that our story that we put up on it is part of what's creating their nervousness.
It's actually been going on for a bit, but it's in high gear now. These neighbors are really upset that they think Diddy's freedom looms because what his lawyers have said is, look, the average sentence is 15 months. He got 50, but they said to an appeals court, the dude's already served 19 months. Let him out now. And they are worried that's going to happen. So this neighborhood is apoplectic. This is one of the most ritzy, maybe the ritziest area in LA.
For those outside of LA, Holmby Hills is where the Playboy Mansion is.
Oh, I'll give you a list here.
Yeah, and there are lots of famous people who live in that hood.
Alexander von Furstenberg, Sean Parker, Darren Metanopoulos, Evan Spiegel, Miranda Kerr, Kylie Jenner, Forgo Google CEO Eric Schmidt, Ridley Scott, on and on and on. So what we're told is that there are a couple of things they're just really dreading. One, that remember the cameras and the reporters and the chaos when his house was raided.
Yeah.
They are worried about tourists coming by. They also say that his sons were throwing these crazy parties where cops had to be called over and over and over again. So they are just off the rails.
And they think that if Diddy gets out, that it's going to be even worse.
Even worse.
Well, I've never heard of this, but you spoke to someone, and there's realtors that are basically trying to sell homes in this neighborhood, and they're actually disclosing to two potential buyers that Diddy's house is in the neighborhood because they're scared they're going to get a lawsuit.
That is the craziest thing. So you have to disclose, I mean, typically it's a material defect.
Right.
But
material defect or a death in the house, right?
Or something that would influence the buyer's decision to buy a house. And they believe that Diddy's presence in that neighborhood is enough that they might have to disclose that. So they're doing, some of them are doing it.
Do they have to be that worried though? Because when this house got raided, remember, then he tried to sell this house for $60 million.
Right, he couldn't. Right.
They never sold it, but don't we think that Diddy's home base is Star Island in Miami? I mean, I know he still has this house, but...
That's not the way they're seeing it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it has been.
What do you know?
No,
what do you know?
Geez, no, I gotta decide.
I shouldn't say it. But there's something, it's actually kind of funny in terms of the disclosure, where realtors sometimes point to features in the house and say, you see that blank over there?
I know what you're saying.
That's Diddy's.
You should not say that at all.
Right.
I mean, look.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
It's nothing about the object. It's just I don't want to give away sources.
Right. Yeah. Again, I think maybe our headline yesterday might have really stirred things up. I recall it was Diddy could be home for dinner, something like that.
Who wrote
was that the headline?
Well, there's always a possibility. There's always a chance.
The whole neighborhood's like, what?
Hi, Sean McInerney from St. Paul. I guess if the real estate agents in 2026 are doing more for community safety than the Justice Department, what? All right, I guess.
Well, the Justice Department got him put away for 50 months.
Yeah.
The question is, did they overstep their And did the judge overstep the bounds by doing that?
But to her point, yes, realtors are sort of running neighborhood watch now.
Yeah, they are high priced.
Offset has a lot of questions. Questions about Cardi B's children. One of whom, at least, is his, and the other is Stefan Diggs. That's conventional wisdom. That's what we've been told. But Offset clearly wasn't buying that, or just was unsure, because we found out that he actually asked a judge to approve a DNA test for the child that Cardi had with Stefan Diggs, as well as one of the kids that she had with Offset when they were married.
So there's a lot to unpack here. Number one, he's essentially saying that I think Cardi cheated during our marriage and that one of our children that we thought was mine might be somebody else.
Right.
So he's saying that for number one. Number two, I think what he's saying is he had sex with Cardi B during the time
and that there's a chance
that she's been with Stefan Diggs, and that he wants to see if he's the parent or if Stefan Diggs is the father. The judge denied it.
Denied one of them. Denied the DNA testing for the child with Stefan.
And that's odd to me because
that would seem to be the one that's more.
I'll tell you why. Because, well, in a way, both are on the table because he may be paying child support for the other kids,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're paying support, it's possible. I don't know. The judge is allowing it. But with Stefan, Cardi is still married to Offset. The divorce isn't final.
Correct.
And this, I believe, is New York, and in many states,
New Jersey.
There is a New Jersey.
The baby was born in Jersey, right?
The divorce is filed.
Oh, the divorce.
Okay. They're residents, I believe, of New York.
They have homes in both, yes, and Georgia.
So depending on what state where their jurisdiction is, and I just know this is the case in many states, there is a presumption that the father of the child is the person who was married to the woman at the time of conception. And he was married.
It's messy, huh?
He was married, but that's why it's odd to me that the judge denied it. Now, I'm not saying it's true.
Right.
I'm just saying.
It is also possible that part of this is a troll or just a jab
for
at
sure.
Cardi.
He just wants to.
Right?
She's been accusing him of dragging this divorce out, demanding millions of dollars to pay his taxes. Yeah, so of course this could potentially be him just taking a shot or trying to drag it out even more.
It probably is, but sometimes you take a shot and it's either frivolous or there's actually a legal claim. And I just like to understand more what the judge's thinking was, because they are married, and I thought you kind of have to do this. So I don't know whether he's going to appeal, drop it, or what, or whether he just wanted to make the point.
I mean, this week in particular,
A
he's
little
got
busy.
other problems.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, he'll get back to
shot
that.
in casinos and everything. By the way, he is now out of the hospital.
Yes.
And gave a kind of odd statement.
Interesting statement, yeah. He said, life is a gamble and I'm still playing to win.
But what?
You got shot at a casino.
Money.
He
Yeah.
owes a lot of people money.
Don't talk about life being a gamble.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Well, we have reached the mea culpa stage of the Summer House scandal. All the, when you have reality show scandals.
Can't believe she folded.
There's the furor over it, and everyone picks a side. I'm team this, I'm team that. And then there's someone comes forward and says, I'm so sorry. In this case, it is Amanda who has flinched.
Be right back.
Well, we have reached the mea culpa stage of the Summer House scandal.
This upsets me.
This is sort of how
This upsets
this upsets you.
It does.
All the, when you have reality show
I
scandals.
can't believe she folded.
There's the furor over it, and everyone picks a side. I'm team this, I'm team that. And then there's someone comes forward and says, I'm so sorry. In this case, it is Amanda who has flinched. Just to catch folks up, if you don't know what was going on Summer House, basically Amanda is now dating West, who used to date Sierra. Sierra and Amanda are best friends.
And by the way, Sierra and West broke up months before Amanda started seeing him.
Well, Amanda clearly feels like she's done something wrong, because she released this statement saying, I've obviously been MIA, but I wanted to come back on and say that I'm truly sorry to everyone I've disappointed and hurt, especially those I know personally who I've reached out to individually. For the sake of my mental health, I'm going to try to start living life with some sense of normalcy. If you see me out or posting online, please know that this still weighs very heavily.
So she's getting
on me."
trashed publicly, and she probably goes out and people say, homewrecker, which is
Homewrecker,
BS.
you broke girl
I don't know
code.
about BS.
Okay,
but...
this is ridiculous.
No, but this is exactly what she's...
Why would she do this?
She's doing this because she wants to come back to social media. She wants to start making money off of brand deals and living her life and traveling and posting on social media. So she's putting out this blanket statement so everyone can be like, oh, look, she's ignoring like what's going on.
So she should say, okay, for all the chumps who are upset about this, sorry you're
Is
so
that
upset.
how you would rather
Part
her
of why,
post
the other
it?
reason I think she's doing it, I think it is those things as well, but this is about promoting the show.
Yeah.
And they have a reunion
Yeah, but
coming
then
up,
why-
right?
but-
And
Yeah.
she said that I'm going to address this more on the reunion.
We did break the story that she is still going to go to the reunion. So this is her confirming
Of course
that
she's
and
gonna
saying
go.
that.
She's the star of the
Right
reunion.
Ooh,
is she
is she the star or is she's
the star.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
because
think
people wanna
everybody wants
from
to
her.
hear
People
what
know how
Sierra has
Sierra
to say,
feels.
though.
Is she still with West?
I mean,
Better be. They just have to be
they
getting
better
married, right?
be getting married, according to Sierra and Sydney Sweeney. So
We don't know that.
No, we don't know.
We don't know
No,
that.
but-
And I do have a question.
That's what
First
the
of all,
reunion will
for
be
the
for.
record, I
Exactly.
think girl code is so stupid. I can't even. It's so dumb that you treat people as
Why do you think
property
it's so
and that
dumb?
you mark your territory. So that's dumb. But I guess the other
No.
thing, it's just
It's
dumb.
morals.
It's dumb. So well, let me ask you something.
Hell with your friends.
Right.
If this is
Screw them.
if this is a betrayal because she was once with West, why isn't it a betrayal on West's part too?
it is. It makes West
But
look bad
West,
too.
West hasn't gotten any.
But he's not best friends with.
But they know each
Sierra.
other, obviously.
Listen,
Well,
because you gotta
exactly.
have team T-shirts, all right? And it doesn't
Yeah,
work
we
if you
do.
have Team West because no one
No
cares
one's
about the
Team
guy. You need
West.
the two women to be pitted against each.
Why do
against
you
each other.
pit women against each other?
In this
It's
case,
just-
they
I don't
are
know.
against.
I don't know where I learned it.
Why do you do that?
I don't know where I learned
Yeah,
it.
Charles.
I learned it from you, Dad.
You didn't learn it from me. I am so team Amanda that I can't even tell you.
Which is crazy.
Wow, and that's the problem. You should
That
be
is
Team
crazy.
Sierra.
I am team Amanda because
The one
Amanda,
that's the homewrecker.
Yes,
Amanda,
exactly. That's what he's about.
Excuse me.
No. Now we know what you're about.
Hold
It's
on.
fine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
What
Right.
What home did she wreck?
The home that
The
Sierra and
potential
West
future
were in.
home that
Yeah.
Sierra and West
Sierra
were
and
gonna
West
have.
were not in a
Oh,
home.
direct eye
they
contact,
moved
Harvey?
from that home. They sold
But
that
West
home.
was trying
They've
to
been
get
in
They
Sierra
didn't
business.
back.
sell it. They didn't sell it.
was trying to
They
take
had
her off
moved
the
out, and
market.
they were leasing it.
Exactly.
Oh,
It was a sublet.
They
It
were,
was.
they were
They were
done.
renting for some
They
time.
were moved. They
No.
were Ben and JLo'd.
Hey, my name's Anne Marie. I'm from New York City, so this issue hits really close to home.
Uh-oh.
And I want to give her the benefit of the doubt because I know that women get more scrutiny in these situations from the media. But if you're truly sorry, why are you not addressing the actual issue in your post? Sierra, your supposed close friend. It's giving woe is me.
Can
You're
we can
posting
wait a
a
minute.
vague PR
I'm sorry.
Hold on.
Does Sierra want back with West?
Well, Sierra's
She
been
might
dating
have.
him allegedly, like throughout the show. They kind of rekindled, and allegedly they are also rekindling as we speak. So Sierra had no knowledge that Amanda was kind of doing this behind her
But wait a
back.
minute. When this happened, I thought Sierra was done with West.
Well,
No.
define done.
No?
No, they weren't like. Anyway.
Well, when are you done?
Well, hold on a
I
second.
mean, when are you?
I might. Hold on. I might regret asking this, but you said at the top, you said this hits very close to home.
Yeah.
Is there a story here that we should know about?
No, I'm from New York City. They're in New York City.
All right.
Oh,
all right.
that's what you
Oh,
meant.
I thought
It was
you kind of went through the
geographic.
same thing.
Oh, I got it.
All right.
Okay.
Coming up.
Well, it may be Coachella weekend, but there is someone else, two someone else's, who are stealing the spotlight in the music world with a huge announcement. But Usher and Chris Brown teaming up to go on tour.
Be right back.
Well, it may be Coachella weekend, but there is someone else, two someone else's, who are stealing the spotlight in the music world with a huge announcement. I'm surprised maybe this never happened before, but Usher and Chris Brown teaming up to go on tour. And they dropped a little trailer to get the fans excited about it.
Oh, well, they didn't have to drop much because I'm excited. I'm ready to drop my coins and give them every penny I have because personally, I've seen Chris Brown in concert a few times. This man never, ever disappoints. I have not seen Usher, but I've also
I have seen Usher
and I can almost guarantee you he didn't disappoint.
He does not disappoint.
Who's the headliner?
Chris Brown.
Really?
Usher.
Yes, Chris Brown.
Usher.
It literally says it in the title, R and B. B's gonna close it.
But
And
that doesn't mean it
I've
says
done
R&B because
I've done
it's
some
playing off of-
research. I've done some research. Chris Brown has more #1 hits than Usher. So he has more material to. I did. He has 20. Usher has 17. It's not there. But they're 3.
All right, that's pretty
hits
close.
apart.
And Usher is seniority, so.
No, #1s. Album sold is probably
Album
Chris
sold-
Brown
now
because he
there's
has
a
more
war.
albums.
Now there's a war.
Anyways,
Wow.
I'll be going. I'll be going.
I bet they hopscotch.
They're gonna. Yeah, I think that's what they do.
Can
They
you guys
end
buy
up-
my ticket?
Can I buy your ticket?
No, you get a salary. Why would I buy your ticket?
I just wanted to make sure.
I love the idea of Chris Brown and Usher teaming up. I'm so excited. My hot take is I just need no lazy creative directors on tour. I need all the flashes, all the things to be amazing. I've seen both in tour. I've seen Usher in Vegas.
Who's better?
I don't know. That's a really hard one. I feel like I'm going to go with Usher. I'm going to go with Usher.
Oh, thank you.
Boy, that was tough.
Thank
though.
you.
That
Thank
was tough. Okay, what
Push
else?
came to shove.
What else do you guys want to talk about?
Hi, I'm Amanda from New York. I'm a therapist, and I'm going to be talking about Cardi B and the DNA test situation. I think what's really interesting about the DNA test is it's not just about the DNA test. It brings up something really emotional, being questioned and being trusted.
Bet you she'd love to have
Oh God,
Offset and Cardi sitting on the couch.
lifetime patience.
Yes, indeed.
One more.
Hi, I'm Tiffany from Atlanta, Georgia. So for Ben and Jennifer, I know in the past they, split apart and a lot of stuff happened, but I feel like in this situation, you can definitely see the maturity in both of them. And I love how they both stay intertwined, even though they are, going through their divorce and stuff. But hopefully they can work stuff out in the future.
Everybody says they still love each other. They just cannot live together.
Coming up.
Remember what you said earlier about the president sort of giving you different doors to choose which one you want to distract at the moment? Well, how about a giant new structure in Washington, D.C.?
Be right back.
Remember what you said earlier about the president sort of giving you different doors to choose which one you want to distract at the moment? Well, how about a giant new structure in Washington, D.C.? You may have heard about the president's desire to have an arc built like the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. He wants one in D.C.
It is so on brand. I mean, Donald Trump is doing to D.C. what he did to New York. He put his buildings all over the place, put his name all over the place. The gold that we thought would just stay in New York is now all over Washington, D.C. And by the way, that's not a political statement. That's fact. He is doing exactly what he did in New York. So it's kind of, what you're getting.
Branding.
He is branding D.C. Donald Trump. Have a good weekend, and we will see you Monday.